Hello, and welcome to the watch along commentary track with trivia for The Aviator. Today we will be discussing Martin Scorsese's The Aviator from 2004, and we'll be watching it and then we'll review it afterwards. As always, I'm your host, Grant Ingram, and today I'm here. This is one of my favorite movies. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I'm excited to be watching it. I'm not excited to be watching it for the next 3 hours and change. Introducing the Noah Dietrich to my Howard Hughes. It is Grant Skillen. How are you, Grant?
I have no idea what that means, and I'm not super excited to be here for the next 3 hours either. Although that's nothing bad against this movie. It's just the fact that we're going to be here for so long.
Yeah, no, it's a great movie. I just I want to mention it's 2 hours and 50 minutes long.
Yeah, it's a doozy.
So whoever's idea this was needs to be fired.
I wonder
Looking at
whose
you,
that
Grant.
was.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking
Excuse
at you,
me?
Grant. Anyway,
I can assure you that this was not my idea.
so this movie, I believe, won Best Picture. I say I believe because I'm not entirely sure. I know it won Best Director, and I know it didn't win Best Actor because DiCaprio didn't have or an Oscar for Best Actor until way later. It won Best Supporting Actress. It was nominated for Best Picture. It was nominated for Best Actor. It was nominated for Best Supporting Actor, which Alan Alda, really? It was nominated for Best Writing. It won Best Editing. It was nominated for Best Directing. It won Best Art Direction. It won Best Costume Design, and it was nominated for Best Sound Mixing. I could have sworn he won Best Picture for this movie. I guess he didn't.
I guess not.
I guess not. I thought he won some sort of awards. This might have been the one that got snubbed. I guess it was the one that got snubbed. Anyway, the Rotten Tomatoes is an 86.79. With a rich sense of period detail, The Aviator succeeds thanks to typically assured direction from Martin Scorsese and a strong performance from Leonardo DiCaprio, who charts Howard Hughes' descent from eccentric billionaire to reclusive madman. DiCaprio be good actor is what that reads. DiCaprio is a good actor. Also, if you're wondering why we're not touting the giveaway as this releases, I think that ended yesterday, just for the record. Yeah. Also, DiCaprio is really good in Scorsese's latest. Scorsese's latest is fantastic. Go see Killers of the Flower Moon. I saw it last week. It is fantastic. Well worth the 3.5 hours I spent in the theater, plus the ads beforehand. Well worth the 4 hours and change I was in that movie theater. Such a good film. Anyway, since this is a 7-hour long movie, Grant, are you ready?
I just did something. Why is that here?
I guess I should go ahead and say, for those of you who are wondering, since this is such a long movie, I did bring a snack. I've got a hamburger, American style. I have a little Walmart apple pie, also American style. And then I have a little Walmart gallon of chocolate milk because this is a 3.5 hour long movie.
This is all I've got.
Yeah, well, you're going to regret it. I'm going to be peeing in jars. That's a
so am I.
To this movie.
I'm gonna be peeing in this.
I'm gonna be peeing in jars. Anyway, without further ado, Grant, are you ready?
Yes.
As always, we go on go. 3, 2, 1, go. And away we roll. For some reason, my closed captions got switched to Estonian. So,
I don't think you speak that.
I think that's what I watched Hugo in, thinking it was in like Arabic.
Yeah. Goodness gracious.
That's a cool early 2000s logo. That's clearly an early 2000s logo.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we are going to do trivia for this. So if you're still here, which first off, thank you. Most people aren't. We're going to try to do some of the commentary, some of the trivia, and all that we usually don't get to. Hey, it's a naked kid, just like Hollywood.
What? Hold on, I'm trying to do something that's being stupid. What did I do? Oh, that's what I did.
Is the movie still playing for you?
Oh, yeah, the movie's still going.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll worry about this later.
What's that spell? COVID. This right here is the best performance Leonardo DiCaprio ever gave. He pretended to be a 12-year-old.
This is quiet.
It's very quiet. Closed captions.
The captions, I had it in a small screen, but the captions were showing up on the window, but not on the pop out.
See, I do two windows. I have it on one side and have you on the other. This movie was considered to be cursed because so many directors had got started or thought about making the movie and couldn't write it. Here we are. This is Mattress Mac talking. Scorsese spent $500,000 of his own money to cover over budget expenses because Warner Brothers pulled funding after he decided not to make The Departed a franchise. True story.
Interesting.
I guess I should save some of the trivia facts for the next 3. For the record, Grant, this is a true story. Just in case you didn't know. Yeah. Howard Hughes was a real dude. Which is why this movie was cursed. It's like a really cool, it's an interesting story. Also, the movie that they're making is a real movie.
So it's filming a movie about making a movie?
Yeah, Hell's Angels was a real movie, so they're filming Yep. It's also color graded like films from that year were, which is fascinating. It seems like a good place to put a swing. Right in the middle of the
Even
dance.
better place for Leo to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Although, how old are the women?
Well,
She says she was 12.
Mr. Mayor is played by Stanley DeSantis. I believe. Who's in a lot of stuff, and I swear, like I recognize him, but I can't think of why. He was known for Rush Hour, I Am Sam, and Candyman. He died in 05.
Oh, 26, eh? You know what I'm sensing? It's back. I don't think I've used this one yet.
Mm-mm.
I'm dumb.
So to be clear, he's requesting 2 more cameras, so he has the same number of cameras as that entire studio, MGM, has at the time to make one movie.
Well, I don't. What I was saying is, I doubt they have 26. I think they were just saying that just to say they had more.
That's a studio.
Mm-hmm.
Hughes is making one movie. So like they've got a bunch going and they only have like 20 something cameras. Wait, are you 24?
What is happening?
He is, as they say in the business, rizzing her up. You gotta pull out your yacht with a Rizzler, man.
He only Travis Kelce.
He's in room 217. Absolutely.
Never.
This is such a cool shot with him standing in front of like the movie and everything. It's cool.
And that is kind of smart to go if you don't have a building you're flying past, you can't see how fast they're flying.
Right. It gets better, but yeah. I've seen this movie like 8 times. I love this thing.
Who is that?
I don't know, but I like him. Remember, he's just making movies. That's $200,000 in like 1920s money.
Which this is going to sound crazy. I can actually give you some form of reference from my macroeconomics class today because we were talking about Babe Ruth and his salary in 1933.
Yeah.
And how the 80,000 at 33 was just under 2 million. So we're looking at probably 6-7 million that they spent on that plane.
Plus, back it up like 5 years, right? It's more.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to account for. Yeah.
I love this.
Because we were comparing Babe Ruth's salary to Scherzer's. Because Scherzer gets 43 million.
Yeah. I love this meteorologist from UCLA. He needs clouds like a giant breast full of milk.
I want some clouds.
Man just got hired to find some clouds.
Mm-hmm.
What is that mysterious ticking noise?
I just love this. I love the sign that says "War postponed, no clouds."
Oh, cloud!
Well, knowing Oakland, that's not clouds, that's smoke, but it works.
I can tell you who doesn't yell that. Oakland A's fans.
Or really anybody, right? Like,
Yeah.
nobody's going to Oakland.
See, there you go. That's already better.
Yeah. So now you don't have to worry about it. You just CGI in. You CGI in some clouds, and there you go. Well, he's got another camera.
They're yelling timber.
Two years. $2 million in 1920s money. Hughes was a little deaf, which is why they make the movie sound the way it does.
Hold on, let me do some math real quick. Let me see if I can find this. Let me see if I can actually put my education into practice here.
You have education?
Yeah.
Holy crap. He's got to reshoot the whole movie for sound. It's going to cost $1.7 million.
Well, you say this was 1922?
Well, I think it's a little later than that, but somewhere in the 20s, yeah. Say 24.
Sorry, the calculator on the Bureau of Labor Statistics website is not working currently, apparently.
Just like everything else in the government.
Mm-hmm.
That is Noah Dietrich. John C. Reilly.
I believe that would be the equivalent of spending almost $37 million, if I just did my math right.
Seems low.
It does, But you also have to count for other stuff because, like, Babe Ruth's salary, which was the highest in baseball in 1933, was 80,000, which is the equivalent of about 2 million, whereas Scherzer was at 43 million. There's other factors, but all else equal, that'd be about 2 million. Or
Yeah, you know,
36,
you're
30
right.
million.
It's about $37 million.
Was that you doubt my numbers?
I did. I love all the broken lamps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just a cool touch.
This is what Howard the Duck was hoping for.
Wow.
I want father to hear about this.
I love how disorienting this is. Yes. This Marshawn Lynch's interview. Yeah.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Mhm. That is a 1920s name. Roscoe.
Is this actual footage from the original?
Yes. I believe anyway. Adjusted for inflation, the budget of $4 million would be approximately $63.4 million in 2018. Curiously, it could be considered a relatively small budget for a film of this type today.
4 million would be about 74 today.
Yeah, well, this was 2018, and well, inflation's insane.
You'd be surprised how much stuff's gone up in the past 5 years.
Apparently, like $11 million. Excuse me.
Not on me.
No. Leonardo DiCaprio had somebody cheer for him. Oh.
Math. It would be about 74 million.
Yeah.
73.7.
Well, let's think about this. If $2 million is 37,
Yeah, I just times 2, and then I did it the other way with the formula just to make sure I could actually do that.
yeah. It's good to know that if I had $2 million 100 years ago, it'd be worth more, but also less now.
Invest it. Because all cash in the bank does is lose value over time.
Yep. Especially in today's money. That cash in the bank could have been used to buy gallons of chocolate milk, which can then be sold 100 years from now at a higher price. Is that Cary Grant? It's definitely supposed to be Cary Grant. To play Katharine Hepburn, Kate Blanchett watched like 15 of her first movies. They painted on each of her freckles, like all of it, to properly portray Hepburn.
Interesting.
I love the color of this scene, of this part of this film, where everything's like green tinted, except the grass, which is blue.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the video is processing currently, so it's going to be 3 hours.
You know what else is 3 hours?
This.
I love her voice.
Basta.
Basta. The theater. Oh. In preparation for a role, Blanchett learned to play tennis and golf and took cold shower, for which Hepburn was known. She's right, by the way.
Not about Darwin, but
But the rest of it, like, men can't be friends with women. I will keep that forever. Like, I will believe that is true always.
not that it necessarily can't be friends. But
Men cannot be friends because no matter whatever, it's all semantics, right? He can be your friend, but he's still pursuing you.
yeah,
That's how it rolls.
settle for that.
Yeah, exactly. Aren't we a fine pair of misfits? She's got like that old, like 30s radio broadcaster voice.
She nailed the voice, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. I love it. And if you listen to Katharine Hepburn, she sounds just like her. There's a reason she won an Oscar for this. She won an Oscar for playing somebody that actually existed.
The face and the reflection is so weird.
The rivets aren't flush. No. It's also expensive.
At that time, yeah. It still is expensive today, yes, but less so.
Yeah, for sure.
All else equal, things get cheaper over time, not more expensive.
No.
There's a wonderful thing called inflation.
Yikes. I want that kind of money. The kind of money where I can go, I don't want the board of directors getting in the way of me making an airplane. I'm going to buy the company.
Give me a number.
Yeah. Eeny, meeny. Miny, mo.
Oh, he getting stout.
Yes. So Martin Scorsese designed each year in this movie to look just the way a color movie from that time period would look. Achieved mainly through digitally enhanced post-production, Scorsese recreated the look of Cinecolor and two-strip Technicolor. Watch in particular for the scene in which Howard Hughes meets Errol Flynn in the club. This scene. Hughes is served. You'll see in a second. I'll finish this reading. I like this song. It's almost eerie, isn't it? Yep. So this scene. That's Errol Flynn.
I'm sitting there.
$12p. So if you look, those tees look turquoise, which is exactly how they would have appeared in the two-strip Technicolor process. As Hughes ages throughout the movie, the color gets more sophisticated and full-bodied. I love that.
Let's see, how does he have his steak cooked?
I love how Flynn went for one of the man's 12 P's.
Is that a well done steak?
Hey, look, well, you don't know that yet.
I know the time. That's probably all they really had at that point.
That's not what I was going to say, but did you notice he had 12 precisely placed P's? What do you think that might be indicative of there, Grant?
I don't know what.
OCD. Hughes was weird.
Fight, 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 fight.
That'll weigh L. As they beat the crud out of each other.
And he's just dancing. He's oblivious. Look at that man.
Yep.
Bro's gonna throw his back out.
I have experience with that. I love the music. Like the Scorsese movie music is always the best.
I would say this is definitely my favorite movie so far of the ones we've seen.
It's really good. It's like I've never seen anything like it. Also, the cellophane on the wheel, also OCD. I'm giving you little things you notice on a second watch so you get the full picture.
That's not what she's feeling.
42:58, Grant. You're editing that into a TikTok. Cheers. There was actually some milk back there.
He needs some milk.
It's such a well shot film. Like Scorsese's just a master of movies. Golly.
Fairly certain this is illegal, by the way.
Not really. Not in the 20s. I love the music, man. Like the smooth jazz. Now, Grant, when two people like each other very much.
I hate you.
Feelings mutual. That's why we've been doing this for like 3 years now.
The tallest woman.
Actually, it's not. At no point has it ever been tomorrow. Hey, he got his rivets flushed. That sentence is so bad.
Ah.
I thought you were gonna go with this one.
That's what she said.
Hey, that one stopped glitching out. The music is still amazing.
We better hope you get off the ground.
So, seeing as we're 45 minutes.
He's not gonna die, but I'm assuming this does not go well.
Actually, I'm just going to go ahead and spoil it for everybody. He dies.
I can tell you why he doesn't, because they wouldn't kill Leo 45 minutes into a 3-hour movie.
I don't know, man.
And it just explodes.
Nah, that's the rocket ships. Mm-hmm. You're sitting there like, that sock ain't moving.
I still have Adam Driver going, more!
I love that shot, though, where it like twists over.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be a cool feeling to be the fastest person in existence in a plane that you built.
Mm-hmm. Are you sexist?
There goes our meal ticket. We need to get actual monocles. Wow. I'm going to adopt that one in my relationship. We're just going to start calling each other mice. When we're fighting, she'll be a rat.
An almost dead man.
Hot dog.
Hot dog, hot dog, hot.
What? I'm sure that's all he could think about. No. Nobody's ever said that to Leonardo DiCaprio. Papa DiCaprio was like, son, you've never been anything. You'll never be anything. Papa DiCaprio. Are you? Will you ever be? Excellent.
What year did this movie come out?
04. I was 1. Grant was 17.
So Kate would have been around 30 when this was filmed, meaning this is not accurate because she's too old.
Obviously. How old was DiCaprio?
All that it got was Doe DiCaprio. He would have been about 25-ish.
Wow.
That roughly. I'm not like depends on filming, but
Yeah. This is a good scene where she talks about her brother killing himself and there being photographers at the funeral and how essentially fame has like ruined her ability to live a normal life. Imagine how that is now.
yeah.
Like, but he never had it, so like whatever.
What are you doing?
I'm fidgeting with my mic arm.
I can hear it. It's loud.
I've stopped. That is true love. Not Hollywoodized at all. What love looks like. I'll be honest, I don't think Jules Verne's wildest dream was that you could get around the world in 80 days. I think it was more that like there was an adventure to be had in journeying from. Like, I don't think Jules Verne was like, hey guys, these two kids are setting off in a hot air balloon. Their goal is to make it from New York to New York immediately.
Uh-oh. I hope everybody brought a bulletproof vest.
Be careful around him. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. He bought control of an airline flying around over the radio. That's a cool room. I love when like America used to decorate things. And not just with like flags. Like America used to have some really cool architecture and designs.
Imagine being that guy. Hey, you just broke the airspeed record. What's the next movie you're making? How's Star Wars 9 coming along? Yes. It's Mr. Mayor. Remember, he don't have two cameras. Hey, my background's looking pretty cool tonight with the purple. It's...
Speaking of working the room,
That woman gained 15 pounds to play Ava Gardner. That was actually said. Jane Lynch was in this movie as Amelia Earhart, but that was cut out.
I wish I had seen. I wish there's footage of that somewhere.
I'm sure there is. The budgets for the costumes in this movie was $2 million.
What? I didn't hear what you said. I was
No,
paying
I'm
attention.
not laughing at you. I was laughing at the line where she's like, I'm without a single redeeming feature, and he goes, "That's not true. You have very good teeth." But the budget for the costumes in this movie was $2 million.
Like today's money.
Yes. For no 2004's money, but like, which is like $7 million today, but still. Excuse me. I love that reaction. That's my ex-husband, Ludlow. What the heck is he doing here? Right, because why would you paint anything real? Yep. Whoa. You just what now? Once again, the OCD. It's an aeroplane. It says A, bro. A, bro.
AA Ron. AA plane.
Yeah. I love how chaotic these scenes are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you really feel like you're there. He's not wrong.
Man dropped the mic in 1935.
Yeah, I almost dropped the chapstick on the ground.
Yeah. I love this movie. That's what she said. What a statement. 7. Whoa.
Hear me out here. We can call it a cargo plane.
Keep in mind, this is like the 30s. Aviation's only been a thing for like 20 years. Adjusted for inflation, that's about 400,000 pounds.
Hmm.
That's a British currency joke.
That caught me off guard.
Who doesn't like Hey, it's the meteorologist again.
The way he said that.
Yeah, like it's phenomenally acted. So the latest up until this point, in January of 2002, Jim Carrey and director Christopher Nolan tried to start the project with Castle Rock Entertainment, but didn't get off the ground soon enough to beat this movie into production. Nolan says that was the best script he ever wrote.
Interesting.
So getting a Scorsese Howard Hughes movie.
I can't believe this is an actual scene in a movie that I'm watching.
This was an actual meeting that happened.
That they're comparing the
Yep.
sizes to.
Yep.
Hercules.
I love the music. Bette Davis. Sitting there eating ice cream, yelling at his soon-to-be wife.
So uncivilized.
Oh.
Balls of steel.
She is so
Now is-
good in her role too.
This is where he's gonna die.
He said, "My name is Sue. How do you do?"
Are you gonna die? Oof.
Man has fumbled the bag.
Nope, man has fumbled the bag. And my accent slipped out. Oh no.
Ooh, she can catch. Mm. Hmm. DiCaprio was 4 inches shorter than the actual Howard Hughes for this.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's a good looking plane. Oh, it's a model. Howard Hughes claimed that the Mitsubishi Zero was copied after his H1 racer because of several similarities. Jiro Horikoshi, I butchered that. Designer of the Zero denied this and it is accepted to be nothing more than an enduring myth.
I can hear your breathing.
Joke's on you. I haven't taken a breath in 7 years.
I can tell you that is not true for certain because I've heard them.
Every movie.
Yes. Wow. You met someone? More purple. I'm not. Well, the look in his eyes is kind of. Dang. Dang.
That's tough.
Very. Very tough. I mean, to be fair, I kind of get his point, right? Like, you gotta love the music, man. It's on fire. That's how you know it's on a roll. Music in this movie is just ridiculous. Wow. I like how he knows who it is as he's picking up the phone. Which would be Are you recording this conversation?
Not anymore.
So imagine you're somebody who's on the verge of sanity anyway. You're already losing your mind.
Why does he look like Anakin?
Because he didn't have the high ground. I hate you. Mutual. I'm 11. Wow. Very nice. Who played Demerg? Angelina Jolie revealed in a 2021 interview that she was offered a major role in this film, but declined it because of Harvey Weinstein's involvement.
This movie's portrayal of Faith DeMurg mixes details of her life with that of Mamie Van Doren, with whom Howard Hughes discovered and had a brief relationship.
Interesting.
DeMurg acted up unto 1982, where she appeared in an episode of Elvira's Movie Macabre.
Wait, hold on. This is Leo's girl right here.
Mm-hmm. And grooming, that's for sure.
Speaking of murder, what?
DeMurg died in 1999, but was born in 24.
75.
Yeah, but how old would she have been?
Wait, what year is this?
That's a good question.
I mean, I thought she said she was 15 a little bit ago.
Yeah, she probably did. So that would be 39.
She was discovered by Howard when she was 16.
Interesting. How about Old York to Newfoundland to Paris? No, it was a Zumba.
You're a zoomer,
It's true.
which I guess I am too, so.
Still your favorite movie we've watched for this?
Mm-hmm. Like, in like the Scorsese month.
Yeah. This is your kind of thing, huh? OCD. OCD.
There's OCD, and then there's that.
No, that's what he had. Was like obsessive OCD. Ultra OCD. He was like severe.
Yeah, like I'm saying, that's excessive.
Yeah, it is excessive. But that was that was his thing. He was also a little deaf. Kind of like me.
He's just making this worse by touching it with his bleeding hand.
Mm-hmm. Again, though, love the wallpaper. It's heartbreaking. A little bit. Remember, he's also germophobic. Which is slightly different from what I am, which is geriatric.
You know who does own this guy? This guy.
Why? Because you're high all the time. That's a joke, for the record. Not that anyone's here an hour and a half in.
For legal reasons. When I make the MLB and everybody comes through. If you are here, say hi. We'll respond.
Hey, it's Willem Dafoe.
Defoe.
Mm. Yeah.
I said how much.
DiCaprio gets away with that for some reason.
I mean, it's the movie, it's the time period.
Oh, I agree. I'm not saying it shouldn't. He shouldn't. I'm just saying he does it quite a bit. Like he seems to be like one of the few actors that is like just kind of safeguarded from racism allegations. That was an easy negotiation. It's Alan Alda, best known for MASH. He also won an Oscar, or was nominated for an Oscar for this.
This role was originally supposed to be played by Gwyneth Paltrow, and then they got like a real person to play it. See, Grant, when two people like each other very much, especially in Hollywood.
There's a box. Still buying or something.
Yikes.
Those 16-year-olds are crazy.
Of course, I love you, Porkchop.
Which is not how that works at all, by the way. Ah, yes.
They can offer lower rates because they're not competing for lowest rate.
Yes. Your wife.
Hmm.
Jeez, this movie's long.
I mean, it's not bad, but there's another hour.
In 20 minutes.
And there's like, I mean, when you take out credits, it's probably like more almost an hour 40, hour 43.
No, fair enough. It's probably about an hour total. So yes. Is that the guy that played the grandpa in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Nick the Custodian is Dennis St. John, who was not the guy from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory,
Oof.
but looks like that.
Like he could have been Albert Einstein.
He's not the guy.
You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
Now, if you notice, he's been doing this the whole movie. He did it. Or the first time we saw it was when he was editing. Editing Calzone.
There was a line he said twice.
I-N-E. What's that spell? Coronavirus. All right, I say next week we sit down and watch Zack Snyder's Justice League.
No.
It's only 4 hours long.
I will murder you. I will drive to Seattle and kill you.
The 38-hour drive.
That is not a threat. That is a promise that I will do that.
That's not a threat. That is a promise.
Correct.
Grant has promised to kill me. General McEwen.
McEwen McGregor.
That's what I was going to say. McEwen McGregor.
McEwen and Gregor.
McEwen McGregor.
Stroke have I is.
Or to
Just
say
have
that
a
in proper English. Have I a stroke?
Is stroke have I?
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you appreciate the effort. And I know you don't, that we go through every week to bring you this full commentary track.
I might need to turn off my camera briefly to make sure I can plug my phone in so it doesn't die.
That's okay, Grant. Nobody's here. And even if they were here, they wouldn't like you. To be fair, they definitely wouldn't like me.
Yeah. Look, all I'm going to say is looking at the view duration time, it's not me. That's the reason they're leaving.
Ouch. On a hit of 270. Okay, I got a fun fact about this too. I'll read in a minute. Some would say he's reached God's speed. By the way, Howard Hughes' house in this movie was actually the house in which he lived on Muirland Drive. Oh. Oof. Oof. What he didn't know is that he had a random off-duty pilot in the cockpit with him who just turned off his engine. Ninth hole.
Shingles.
But not the old people kind. So when the XF-11 spy plane crashed, the wing crashed through the roof of the home of movie and TV star Rosemary DeCamp and her husband John
Hold
Saylor.
on, I can't hear you over this. Let me turn this down. All right, what were we saying?
So when the XF-11 spy plane crashed, the wing crashed through the roof of the home of movie and TV star Rosemary DeCamp and her husband John Saylor, with a piece of it landing in their bedroom. They were in the living room at the time and were not injured. This 1926 Spanish colonial house is located at 802 North Linden in Beverly Hills.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is Anakin now.
He did. He definitely did not have the high ground. All right. Well, here's you a random fact. The Marvel Comics character Tony Stark, famously portrayed by Robert Downey Jr. in the MCU, was based heavily on Howard Hughes. DiCaprio was once considered to play Peter Parker during the early 1990s in James Cameron's Spider-Man the movie, which was canceled. And those two things are as related as me and Skillet. Oh, they're shooting him. Released through Miramax Films, whose parent company was the Walt Disney Company. Before forming his own production company, Walt Disney's animated movies and shorts were distributed by RKO Pictures, which was later purchased by Howard Hughes. That is called going full circle. Speaking of full circle,
Oof.
Yikes. John C. Reilly is really good in this movie, and he's not recognized for it enough. Also, Leonardo DiCaprio was in The Mummy. Because even half dead, he's got OCD. Well, no. I'm nearly dead. Somebody turned off the engine.
Here, I'm gonna turn my camera off, and I'm still watching. I'm just gonna go grab the thing quick.
I love how he's concerned about aphids. No, but Dirty Santa's can. Jeez. Thing's just huge. He's got a mustache now. We beat him up. There's more. Lots of bugs. I don't listen to your phone calls. I read the transcripts. That might be the greatest leap in logic ever.
I don't listen to them. I read them.
She was married to both Artie Shaw and Frank Sinatra. Just frozen back. That's based on a real fight that happened in Mr. Mayor's office. They cleaned it up real quick. Nothing happened, and then Howard asked her to marry him. Which is what you do when she whacks you over the head with the bottle after you slapped her.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're touching things. This was Alan Alda's only Oscar-nominated performance. Before I, ruin your life.
Mm-hmm. That's utter bull crap. That's what he's spewing right now.
For sure. He's just sitting there. He's like, it's staring back at me, Ma. It'd been a cow at the moose. The one fingerprint print on the glass. Just to mess with him.
That was the weird thing. He could control it in public.
Let's talk fish. He sent them after you. That said, "All right, now I've got dirt."
Yeah. Because Martin Scorsese only ever makes mob movies. Even his movies that aren't about the mob are about the mob.
I'll be chill. Vamos.
No, he's losing it. Like that's the interesting thing to me. Is how he could control it and then would lose it.
Yeah, it was very, very interessante indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Goose. What?
Mm-hmm. That became the official nickname for it. He likes sand. It's rough and clean. He should drink something first.
I think he should drink something first.
Hmm. So when the X-11 crashed, he told his rescuer, "I'm Howard Hughes, the Aviator." That was his preferred title. Even though he was an engineer, businessman, filmmaker, investor, and philanthropist, he always insisted that he was an aviator first. Hmm.
Strike two.
That's gotta cut deep. Because the last time she said that, they were like he was leaning on her. You taught me to fly. I can take the wheel. Hmm. This is one of those movies that's just so weird. Like he was just a weird dude. Had his hand in everything. And yet ended up having sandwiches eaten by ants.
Same.
Like, I mean, he's clearly a brilliant dude.
Just never mind.
Is what?
Never mind.
I was trying to figure out what was going on with his chest too.
No, I don't think. I think he's naked.
He is naked. There's no thinking. He is naked. The chest thing though is the scar from the crash. Remember, this is a true story. As I said, I will be peeing in jars by the end of this movie.
Pretty consistent coloring. Seen worse.
When it gets dark. Oh. E-I-E-I-O.
Oh, DiCaprio had no clothes. E-I-E-I-O.
Leonardo had no clue.
Soto.
Juan hated being called by his first name in real life. He preferred to be called Terry. You don't want to get you sick. He's just going to shoot him.
That's not even what he asked. He didn't say you got elected. He said you own him.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, the government's the one that canceled the contract on that plane.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he didn't.
a jerk. Also, Grant, I think you're muted. I hate you.
Everyone else is going to be uncomfortable. He'll be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
On my plane, how? I think he's quite warm in there, actually. You can see how all these people, in some ways, care about him, but
Yeah,
also competition. Like,
right. Like they all care about him because he's like obviously a genius, right?
mhm.
But he's also crazy.
They locked him in a room.
He's crazy, is what he is. And unfortunately, that's what he was. Makes for a heck of a movie, though. Still your favorite of the Scorseses?
hmm
Yeah. What, like you don't recognize me? He don't have none. He needs some Jordans. Wow. It's one of those women that was in his life.
I
mean,
wonder
they
if
get-
that's what his like beard would actually look like if he grew it, or if that's just a fake one.
I don't know. This is a good question. We've seen him in other movies with a beard. And I think it's pretty much that. It's heartbreaking. Like, I mean, he was a great man and a genius, right? great in the philosophical sense. Like he was kind of a scummy person, but still.
He did some good things.
A lot
Some.
of good. A lot of good. He was a brilliant person. And then he just lost his mind. And he got the crap beat out of him, literally and emotionally, right? Like, just kind of sucks. People just kind of suck. Except to Screw Sinatra and Artie Shaw. You can see why this is one of my favorite movies. It's Leonardo DiCaprio's mullet. It's what does it for me.
Well, only if you were peeing in mason jars. Excuse me. Alan Alda's still alive.
How old is he? 150?
He was in Ray Donovan. He was born in, let's see,
1936. Been married since 1957. So he's 87. So he's only 60 something in this movie.
ooh,
I can hear you breathing.
Again, man's peeing in mason jars. It's just absolutely taking it to a senator.
How much did he pay you to say that?
Just taking it to the guy.
See if you see any clouds.
Let's be honest, we all know this plane's about to fly. We all know that's about to happen.
I don't remember if the
Your-
plane ever actually took off.
Your mama knows it's about to happen.
The Spruce Goose.
$70 people? 70.
Miles an hour. It is kind of crazy that you can get like 20 tons off the ground with 70 miles an hour. I do love that when you become a professor, you can just see the wind.
Oh, yeah, obviously. You didn't know that?
Again, man is peeing in mason jars and then goes in and hands it to a senator. This is back when like senators were like real people doing real jobs.
Are you sure about that?
Well, it's about as close to it as you got. Sounds like a long way to go to get to Los Angeles. Tire.
Going once, going twice.
It is massive.
You see, we don't know if this was intentional. Bro's going 75 straight towards the rocks and the people. He knew what he was doing.
I don't know, man. We don't know that it was intentional.
Consistent.
Very. Just some basic turbine stuff. Wow.
My laptop's at 9%.
So let's plug it in.
Plugging it in makes it very awkward for me.
Will you have other options here, Grant?
You're breathing heavily into your mic. You've got to, like, when you're breathing, you can't have it right here because it's just
telling me is I need to go.
no.
Anyway, what did we?
Initial reaction before we get into the review, Grant.
Movie good.
Movie good. Okay. Fair enough. Well,
Go ahead. If you want to go ahead and start it, you can go ahead and
okay.
I'll be good by the time we get going.
I was waiting. Yeah. All right.
I'm kicking you. All right. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Through the Monocle. Today we will be reviewing Martin Scorsese's The Aviator from 2004. As always, I'm your host, Grant Ingram, and approximately 2 hours and 49 minutes and 48 seconds into this review, or into this recording, rather, I am rather excited to reintroduce my compadre, the Noah Dietrich, to my Howard Hughes. It is my good friend and occasional collaborator, Grant Skillen. How are you doing, Grant?
I'm doing good. We are almost 3 hours into recording. My MacBook is almost dead, so it is once again sitting up on a mason jar so that when I look at my laptop screen, it looks somewhat normal.
You know, in true Howard Hughes fashion, I hope that mason jar is full of pee.
It is full of nothing, although it was full of M&Ms, and there is a story behind that we can maybe get in at some point.
I would love to hear it. Yeah. Fair warning. I just got word my roommate is having people over, and when I asked him to keep it down, he said I'll try. So if he doesn't, I'll start telling stories. But if you hear something, that's why. Anyway, Grant, this is your first time seeing this masterpiece, correct?
That is correct. Yes.
And what are your opinions on it?
It's a very good movie. I think you have the Rotten Tomatoes. If you want to go ahead and throw that up on the screen real quick.
I absolutely do. It's an 86.79, which is kind of weird for me.
Yeah, I think the 79 is for sure low. The 86, I would say, is probably in a good range for it, although probably on the low end in my opinion.
I would say it's about a 92, 93 in my book.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone said, "Oh, it's like an 86," I'm like, okay, I can see that.
I mean, yeah, it's just one of those.
79
again, it seems kind of
low. It's very well written. You can tell that he put a good bit of effort into making it authentic to the times. Like it's very well done. The acting is very good. DiCaprio is amazing. Kate Blanchett's good. The others are good as well. I mean, those two in particular, in my opinion, but I mean, overall, it's a very good movie.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think DiCaprio probably should have won an Oscar for this. Like, I don't know who won the Oscar in 2004. About to find out. But I think he should have won it just for that last probably hour. Because he was just so good at being crazy. Sean Penn won Best Actor in 2004 for Mystic River, which I've never seen Mystic River, but come on, man, this is such a good movie. I think Kate Blanchett deserved her Oscar. I'm just gonna go out on a limb there and say she was okay in the movie.
Yeah, just okay.
Just okay. I'm trying to think.
I wish we'd gotten to see more of her. I guess that could maybe be a complaint. I know it's realistic, so I know that they're not going to bend that, but she was so good that I wouldn't have complained if there was more of her.
Yeah, but in order to have more of her, she'd have to be around more later in Howard's life, and maybe she was. But we also don't see a lot of late Howard, right? Like the movie starts when he's big
Mhm.
and works its way up through when he goes crazy, but then ends on kind of a redemption note, right? And then he starts to go crazy again, and we lose it. Like we don't get to old Howard Hughes by like his late 70s because he lived a long time. He was like full blown crazy to the best of my memory. Like where we saw him start to lose it, he lost it. He died in 76 at the age of 71. Yeah, during his lifetime, he was one of the most influential and richest people in the world. But by his late life, he had like a medical institute that is currently located in Chevy Chase, Maryland. Because of course.
Of course.
So
yeah,
he was
there's
widely considered eccentric and suffered from severe OCD. Howard always ate the same thing for dinner: a New York strip steak cooked medium rare, dinner salad, and peas, but only the smaller ones, pushing the larger ones aside. He lived his later years in Las Vegas. Autobiography, he had like some sort of hoax going on with that. He died on April 5th, 1976 on board an aircraft owned by Robert Graff and piloted by Roger Sutton and Jeff Abrams. He was en route from his penthouse at the Acapulco Princess Hotel, now the Fairmont Acapulco Princess in Mexico, to the Methodist Hospital in Houston. His reclusiveness and potentially his drug use made him practically unrecognizable. His hair, beard, fingernails, and toenails were long, and his 6'4" frame now barely weighed 90 pounds. The FBI had to use fingerprints to identify him. Like he had fallen quickly. So we saw the great years of his life before all the mental decline.
Yeah, and we got to see a picture of the mental decline, but it didn't go to the end, which in a way is like almost respectful to him because in some ways he couldn't control it. And so it's trying to paint some of the better parts of his lives his life while showing some of the struggles as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like he couldn't, I mean, OCD, mental disorder in general is just, I mean, it's sad. It's not like he could do anything about it, though the drugs probably didn't help. But like, I think I even said it during the movie, he got kicked in the butt a lot. Yeah. Katharine Hepburn left him. Then he fell out of the sky. Then he got cheated on again, and he fell out of the sky again. Like, he kept falling out of the sky. But, like, I don't know. He's just an interesting person. And the movie, it almost is like a mercy killing, right? Where we don't see him late in his life to kind of save that face.
Yeah, and you were talking about the OCD, and in preparing for the role, Leo spent some time with an OCD patient named Edward, who just advised him on like some different aspects of the condition, particularly about the repeating sentences. So that's a theme that pops up. You mentioned it's a little bit early in the movie, but as you go on, it's pretty prominent. Like when he's locked in the room, and then at the very end of the movie, of course, when he's repeating sentences. That is one of the things that they had talked about and went over.
No, that is a big part of OCD, and you do notice it early on. I think it's something like, I need to see that reel, I need that reel, or something like that. And like it's very minor, but it's a cool little touch that they threw in. Now, DiCaprio spent a day with Jane Russell to hear her memories and impressions of Howard Hughes. She was very impressed with DiCaprio's visit and told him that Hughes was a quiet yet extremely stubborn man who always got his way in the end. There's a lot of work that went into prepping for this.
Yeah, for sure. Kate Blanchett did I think you mentioned a little bit, unless I'm just thinking back to the
she did a ton of work to get ready for it.
Yeah. Scorsese requested that she watch the first 15 movies of Katharine Hepburn to learn her mannerisms and her poise. And you mentioned during the watch-along that in preparation for her role, she learned to play tennis and golf and to take cold showers because Hepburn was known for that. I can't imagine doing that.
And she's got like that New York accent, right? Where it's like that. I say it's New York. I don't really know what it is, but like it's an old radio broadcasty kind of voice. So like if you ever played Cuphead, before every boss fight, who's ready for a high class bout? And it's that same kind of, it's like that bigger, it's more nasally, and it just kind of punches you right in the throat. It's all in Darwin.
IMDb says that it was a distinctive upper class New Englander accent.
So New York.
Mm-hmm.
Upper class.
She did daily voice exercises with a voice coach who she had worked with before, and she studied her movies to learn about her mannerisms, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah, Kate Blanchett's a
mentioned as well the
actress.
freckles, like she had her freckles hand painted on.
Yeah.
And
she's
also,
a fantastic actress in general.
Yeah. Yeah, and as you mentioned, she won an Oscar for this, and so she's the first person to win an Oscar for playing a real life Oscar winner,
which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just fantastic in it. Like, I do wish she'd been in more of it. I like that she came back towards the end.
Yeah, you got a little bit of her, but sorry, it is 10:20 as we are recording this currently.
And we've been doing this for 3 hours, so kind of a little bit of slack.
Yeah.
And go check out the other 2 hours and 50-something minutes of it. It's fantastic.
I forgot exactly what we were talking about.
Hepburn coming back in the end. The last thing you said was you see a little bit of her.
Yeah, you see a little bit of her, but and again, it's like I understand it's realistic, so it's like you can't just bring her back just because you want to, but it would have been cool to see her again.
It would have been. I do like that she got replaced with Ava Gardner. Like we saw Ava Gardner before, and then they kind of replaced her with Gardner, which I guess is what happened in real life. But like she took over that motherly kind of, especially once Hughes went crazy, it became a motherly figure. And there's a lot of a parallel between that of, I guess I would say, Ida Hughes' mother or the nanny, right? In the opening and closing scenes where he's spelling quarantine, and Ava Gardner giving him that same standing bath.
Yeah.
It's just...
Fun fact, this was the first Scorsese directed movie to gross over $100 million in the U.S.
I wonder what the budget was.
That's a good question. Grant also mentioned this during the watch along, so I'm just stealing everything that he ever said. But Scorsese spent $500,000 of his own money on this movie when Warner's cut budget. I think you said it was because of The Departed.
Was it going to be a franchise?
Yeah, they wanted a franchise. He didn't, so they're like, screw you, money.
And so he ended up putting $500,000 in. The budget of this movie was $110 million. It made $213. Which I think is kind of cool.
Jane Lynch was filmed a couple scenes as Amelia Earhart, but they were cut from the movie.
I wonder why they were cut from the movie. Like, I wonder if there's something else you can, like, if there's a way you can see those, because that's just fascinating. Yeah, it's such a good film. Like, it does a good job of setting him up as like this enigmatic mogul from the beginning. So like once he starts to go crazy, you really feel bad about him, because even if you like, I've seen the movie 5 times or more. I don't know exactly. It's one of my all-time favorites. I own it on Blu-ray. Like I see the movie a lot. You notice things in the second and third watches that you don't in the first one. So like, for example, the fact that he repeats himself early on in the movie. Like there are always these hints of it, but it does such a good job of showing you this strong, powerful figure that when he does start to lose his mind, you really feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, it was amazing to watch him kick that senator's like rear end.
It was, yeah. And Grant was joking about it, but he goes from peeing in jars to peeing on a senator.
Yeah, exactly. And Alan Alda did a fantastic job in this. Did he win the Oscar? Or did he just get nominated for it? I can't remember. I know the movie won 5 Oscars, and I know Blanchett got one. So let's see. Did Alda got nominated? DiCaprio got nominated. It got nominated for Best Picture. It won Best Actress for Blanchett. It won Best Cinematography, it won Best Film Editing, and it won Best Art Direction, and it also won Best Costume Design, which it should have because they spent $2 million on the costumes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy. Another fact: this is the only Scorsese and DiCaprio movie to be rated PG-13.
Really?
Like for like both of them, like a movie with.
Was Shutter
Those
Island
directed
rated
by-
R?
I'm just reading the IMDb fact.
No, I believe it, but like Shutter Island is. I guess it was rated R. Shutter Island is fantastic and is also woefully underrated. We probably should have talked about it too. It's so good, but like this is just one I had to talk about.
Yeah, and I mentioned it during the watch along, but this is my favorite of the Scorsese movies that we've watched this month. And this might come out. This might come out next Tuesday. It might come out on almost said on October. It might come out on Halloween. It might come out the first day of November. We'll figure that out. But this month with Scorsese movies, this was my favorite. It kept me engaged for the whole almost 3 hours, which I was not expecting. If I'm being honest, I thought I'd be zoned out, but
I knew you'd like it. I knew it would keep you engaged. It is just one of those movies. This used to be my comfort watching. Like I would just turn it on. I love, especially the early scenes where like everything's turquoise. I love it. Like when we first meet Hepburn and they're playing golf. Like that's one of my favorite scenes. The scene with Ludlow where he's like, "What the heck is he doing here?" Meeting her ex-husband is fantastic. Like there's a lot of this movie that is just comforting to me, so I figured you would like it. Now, with that said, what is your like rankings of the 4 you've seen?
this is one just because of style. I'd probably put Hugo 2.
Okay.
And this is just personal preference. Like obviously, Goodfellas and The Departed are very good movies. It's just not necessarily for me.
Yeah.
After that,
you're not getting any hate from me for saying that. Right? Like it's different than C+ in Tombstone. Like to say it's not for me is like a legitimate thing. I get it.
I might get hate for this, but I think I would put The Departed 3rd and Goodfellas 4th.
Fair enough. Hey, dude, The Departed got Scorsese his first directorial Oscar.
Like Jack Nicholson is what did it for me.
Oh, dude, I love Jack Nicholson in that movie. Yeah, I can't say I disagree with much of that. For me, it's like picking children. I think The Aviator is also my favorite of the 4. It's definitely the one I've seen the most. Again, it's comfort watching. I can throw it on with family in the house. Like it's not like it's a good movie. After that, it's probably. I mean, when I'm going to pick the bottom of this, it's the bottom of like 4 amazing movies.
Yeah, and like I said, the 2 of the movies this month weren't really for me. It is different than Tombstone, where that was a little different. I know I'm getting hate for that because even my mom is mad at me for that one. But which she has been for years since the first one. And,
Grant's still getting coal in his stocking at Christmas just because.
Yes, absolutely. But I can recognize while these movies aren't for me, I can see the appeal to people who like this style. For sure.
Right. So I think for me, it's The Aviator. It's probably Goodfellas, then The Departed, then Hugo. It's with saying that I absolutely love Hugo. Like love it. It's a really good movie, and it would. I don't know where it would rank. I love that movie, but I think the other ones are better. Though I do think Hugo is more rewatchable than The Departed because by the 3rd time you've seen The Departed, the twists don't have the shock value.
Yeah.
So maybe.
And I do think The Departeds were a little excessive at the end, still. But there definitely is the shock value because you're like, okay, they're gonna stop dying at some point, and they just don't. They just keep dying. It just doesn't stop.
So you can see why Warner Brothers cut the funding on The Aviator because Scorsese refused to leave either Damon or DiCaprio alive.
But it's like I don't know how you really. make a sequel to The Departed,
There is no good franchise.
other than for money. Which I mean, fair enough. Warner Brothers for wanting the money out of it. You can't blame them, but
Yeah, exactly. I think we can both agree, though, Scorsese is one heck of a filmmaker.
for sure. And you can see the range between Hugo and this one, and then The Departed and Goodfellas. You can see the range of the mob movie to this, with DiCaprio going insane and everything. And
he makes other stuff that also fits in between that. And had I been smart and not just attracted to the big flashy ones, I probably would have picked like maybe Age of Innocence or something like that. But I still feel like you get a good range, right?
yeah,
Hugo is a kid's movie.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic. Like no matter what he's making, he brings that same level of quality and that same commitment to the story. And I love that.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think next month we said we were doing Tarantino, right?
I think so.
Yeah, you're going to, those movies, I don't know whether they'll be for you or not for you. Depends on the ones we watch, I guess. They're usually more violent, but they're almost so hyper stylized. Like they lose their like impact, right? Like it's kind of, it almost becomes cartoonish. I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure out which ones we're going to watch. There are some of them that aren't that violent.
I guess you will have to stay to find out.
I guess you will. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching that. This might be the longest review out of this month. It's been like 25 minutes.
Has it? I feel like it's been maybe 20, maybe.
It's still been a while for us anyway. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. I think the movie's fantastic. I think it probably should have won Best Picture, but I was barely alive in 2004. So
yeah, knows? I don't know what beat it. It's possible something beat it. Like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see. What did it lose to? Because that would be a good thing to know.
Cars.
I'm
trying to think. I'm not good with movies, especially when you get that old.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was 1 year old.
Right.
Heck if I know.
Best motion
Not
picture.
that I can even tell you the years of most movies, but
2004, it lost to.
I'm gonna give an instant reaction.
Did a hotel? Wait, what? Oh, that's Golden Globe. That's not the Oscar. I'm stupid. It won Best Picture for the Golden Globes. 2004. I am so confused. Is this also not? Oh, it's BAFTA. Dadgummit. I can't pick. It won the BAFTA. Why did my Microsoft Edge just freeze? Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Cool. Because I can't do anything. Woohoo. Oh, I'm back. I'm trying to figure out what the heck it lost to. Dang it.
Would it have been 2004 or would it have been 2005?
2004. Let's see. Oh, I can't. There's no link to click on.
Because what award did Blanchett win for it?
Best Supporting Actress.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been 04 then.
Okay.
Because it was Renee Zellweger for something else.
Or maybe it was Best Actress, whatever she won it for. Let's see. 2004. Yeah, no. $1 Million Baby won 2004.
It's 2005.
Well, The Aviator was nominated in 2004, so it was $1 Million Baby.
Well, she won her actress in a supporting role for The Aviator in 2005.
Yeah, but it was the 2004 Oscars, so it was the 77th.
No, I'm looking at the 2005 Oscars, and that's when she won her award.
Grant, the 2005 Oscar nominees were Crash, Brokeback Mountain, Capote, Good Night and Good Luck, and Munich. Good Night and Good Luck is fantastic. The 2004 Oscar nominees were $1 Million Baby, The Aviator, Finding Neverland, Ray, and Sideways.
In 2005, it won the Oscar for cinematography.
So I think the Oscars are the year before. So it might have won the Oscar in 05, but it won it for 04.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to find.
Okay, well, it lost to $1 Million Baby, which, I mean, fair enough, I guess. I don't know. I've
Yeah,
never seen
$1 Million
$1 Million
Baby.
Baby. I've
Yeah.
never seen $1 Million Baby. Perhaps I should have. And I mean, more power to Clint Eastwood. But darn, this was a good movie. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this and you want to hear Grant and I argue again at the end of shows about movies we both enjoy, you can go to patreon.com/theculturenerd and you can pay us. And we appreciate that. There are ways to pay everybody or just us or just anybody but us. No matter what you do, it really does help keep the lights on. It really does help keep me yelling at Grant. It is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Grant loves doing that.
As always, I've been your host, Grant Ingram.
And I have been your co-host, Grant Skillen. Thank you to each of our Patreon supporters. Thank you to Jose for the logo and Taylor for the intro.
And thank you, the viewer, for joining us. It's been a long 3-hour and 15-minute journey. If you've been here the whole time, first off, we salute you. Secondly, please leave a like, subscribe. It really does help us out. You can also scan that QR code there on the left. Just pull out your phone, scan it. It's going to take you to the Culture Nerd. You can scan the QR code there on the right. It's going to take you to our other show where you can hear us talk to some cool people. More cool people on the way, by the way. We've got some fun stuff announcing. And tune in next week where we talk about Quentin Tarantino's films. I'm not sure which one we're starting with, but we will figure that out. Be here or be square. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you next week.